Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United versus Crystal Palace final day preview. Probably the latest one we've ever done, but as I said on the morning show, check out all the latest news there. The reason I've done it late is because there's so much uncertainty about what the team will be and who will be available that I wanted to leave it as late as possible. Obviously the big story is that there is an expectation from what I've been told that Cristiano Ronaldo will not play in this game. Now, interestingly, since this morning, no major outlet has picked up on it. So maybe there is still hope, maybe. But look, everything suggests that he's not fit. He's not playing tomorrow. But obviously, we're the only ones saying it at the moment. So I'm hoping that, excuse me, that maybe that information is for some reason a bit of a hoax. But we'll see. We'll see about that. I'm certainly going to work off the assumption that he's not playing. Paul Pogba's not playing. And we've heard that Jesse Lingard may not be playing as well for whatever reason. We'll maybe find out tomorrow. So that leaves us with slim pickings. But look, the enormity of this game must not be understated. Crystal Palace are a good side. Manchester United are a bad side. West Ham are playing at Brighton. If they win and we don't win, we are going to be in the Conference League. The scenario is very simple. If West Ham win, they go a point ahead of us. They've got better goal difference. If we lose, they're ahead of us. If we draw, we're level, but they've got better goal difference. So basically, we've got to mirror West Ham's result at Brighton tomorrow. And I'm worried. West Ham can be a good side. Brighton literally is on the beach. They may well be on the beach. They may well have had their big home end of the season result when they beat us. So look, if Brighton do us a favour tomorrow, it doesn't matter what we do at Palace. If we lose, it doesn't matter as long as Brighton don't win. But we've got to work under the assumption that Brighton are going to win. And it's interesting how this 2-week break for United's going to hit. Is the introduction of Ten Hag, the realisation that we're one win away from Europa League, but if we don't win, we're going to be in the Conference League. The motivation's got to be there in that team. It would be with you. It is there with me. But we know with these players, it's not been there all season. So as much as we are hungry to get this result, I think there's a huge amount of difference between the Conference League and the Europa League. I've said it many times. I'm not going to spend long on it. But the big difference is, I think if you're trying to buy a player, they'd be far more interested in the Europa League than the Conference League, because it's actually, to win that, it's got more glamour, and also it gives you a route into the Champions League, of which we're not guaranteed to get top 4 next year. So it's a huge game, and the players need to take that on board. And that is why I would make some changes, as you can see on the team on my left. Our last game was humiliating, and we've had plenty of them this season, but it has been humiliating. And you've got to make changes to that starting 11. You've got to try and motivate it. And as much as we don't like the performances of Bruno recently and Maguire, I think both have to start, because ultimately they are two players that are with the manager that hopefully will improve under Ten Hag. But for tomorrow's game, they have to start, because they're two players that ultimately, even though they're not playing well, they do have the interests of the club at heart and they will give it their all. The problem is if they play bad again. So we've got to try and put a team out to beat Palace. And let's not forget, Palace are a good side. In fact, I didn't realise that they're 5th in the league for goals conceded at home. So they've got a good defence at home. We know, I saw him play a few weeks ago against Arsenal in a game where many people thought Arsenal would win, on their road to 4th place. And Palace played them off the park from minute 1 to minute 90. They're a high-intensity team. They're a hard-working team. And if we catch them tomorrow, even if we were on a good day, it would be a difficult result to go and win there. So, I think back of that game a couple of years ago, or maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. Time flies, doesn't it? When Matic scored that banger and we needed it. And we need something like that tomorrow. We need to find a result. The defence needs to be on it, which it never ever seems to be. And the midfield needs to be solid, and we need to take our chances. And it's going to be very, very difficult. Of course, Palace played on Thursday night, and it was a very emotional game for them. They basically squandered a lead that kept Everton up in epic circumstances. Playing Thursday night to Sunday afternoon, it's a bit of a turnaround. But is that disadvantage for Palace levelled up by the fact that we've not played for 2 weeks and the motivation in the club and team spirit is terrible? So I don't know what you make of that. Vieira, obviously, in a bit of trouble. Obviously, what the fan did, shouting and screaming in his face, is disgusting, but that might have an impact on them. But we're clutching at straws. Ultimately, it's a game of football. It's 11 against 11. It's their last game of the season at Selhurst Park. It will be a bit of a party atmosphere, and they'll want to finish it with a win. 100% they'll want to finish it with a win. So I think it's going to be difficult, and it's a very, very difficult game to predict. Before I go into the team, it's a difficult game to predict. A draw might not be enough for us. If West Ham win, we're in the Conference League. Even if we get a draw, which would be progress from Brighton. We literally have to go and win. And look, to be completely blunt, and I've not really heard anybody say this, we may as well go to win and lose than try and play for a tight draw and nick a result. Because ultimately, if West Ham draw, we're in the Europa League even if we lose. So if West Ham, the result we fear is a West Ham win, and a draw won't be enough if West Ham win. So, you know, we may as well go for it tomorrow. We may as well go for it, try and win the game. All right, we might leave some gaps at the back. We've got to try and win the game. The win is the result. If we lose, we lose. But ultimately, we've got to go and win that game, because if we draw, we still might be in the Conference League. So we've got to be progressive in the way that we approach the game. And I am concerned about it. My prediction is it probably will be a draw. I can see it being like a 1-1 or something like that. But we could easily get beat 3-0. We could easily go and win. And I think one thing that's worth mentioning as well is the Erik ten Hag factor. The players know they're meeting him early next week. They know that's going to happen. They also know he's going to be in the ground. They're playing for their futures. Now, some of them don't care about their futures. Lingard, Pogba, they're off. Cavani's off. Matic is off. But a lot of those players, you're looking at it and you're going, well, where is he going to buy players? He's looking at a centre-back. You know, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, Varane, they've got to be on the ball tomorrow. He's looking at a full-back. Which one? Left back, right back? You've got to be on the ball tomorrow. Midfield, obviously he's looking for a whole new midfield. You've got to impress. So I think there's players that need to put in a shift tomorrow, and I really hope that they do. Which takes me on to my team. De Gea obviously plays in goal. Dalot would play at full-back over Wan-Bissaka, who we're now hearing is not part of Ten Hag's plans anyway. He's not been part of Rangnick's plans, so Dalot has to start at right-back. My centre-back pairing would be Varane and Maguire. Now, I've always said I prefer Varane and Lindelof, and I don't mind him going with Varane and Lindelof. The reason I would pick Maguire is because ultimately we need something. We need something tomorrow. And, you know, maybe Maguire with a few weeks off, a new manager coming in, you might just get a performance out of him. I mean, it's dangerous, it's risky. I don't think if I ran a poll, people would pick Maguire over Lindelof. And if he goes with Lindelof and Varane, I don't have a problem with that, because we can certainly play a higher line, and Palace have got pace up front. And I don't think Palace necessarily suits Maguire, but I'm just thinking we've got to try and make some changes to the team from Brighton. And maybe, I certainly think Bruno's leadership has been terrible, and if Ronaldo's not going to be there, maybe it's worth just chucking Maguire back in. I don't know. It's a difficult one. I hummed and hawed about that one, and to be honest with you, I just thought because we were so bad against Brighton, maybe bringing Maguire back is worth a try. Left back, I'd love it to be Luke Shaw. If Luke Shaw can get back for it, brilliant. We know he's had the birth of his child. Luke Shaw makes us so much stronger at the back. Telles is an accident waiting to happen, and we know that Palace are decent down the flanks. So, look, it's Telles, but hopefully Shaw can be back. In the midfield, I think you've got to bring Fred in. Fred's got to come in. He's one of the very, very few bright sparks under Rangnick. People seem to think Fred's had a good season. I don't know where you've been all season. Fred was atrocious under Solskjaer. He was absolutely crap. He's got a lot better under Rangnick, and I think he's got to start. I do think Rangnick will go with McTominay and Fred. To me, it's obvious you go with Matic and Fred. Matic is far better than McTominay as a CDM. He actually wants the ball, and we need to want the ball tomorrow. So I would go with Matic and Fred, but I suspect he'll go with McFred for the energy. Bruno, I'd pull back into the number 10 position. I liked Mata against Brentford, but it didn't work against Brighton away, and this is an away game, and I think Mata would just get swallowed up in the intensity of Palace. And I know Bruno's frustrating, but yeah, you've got to put Bruno in over Mata away from home. Sancho, I'm really hoping he's back on the left. He's a quality player, and even if he's not, match fit, he's still better than putting Rashford there or Elanga or putting Bruno on there. So Sancho would be important. Elanga I would go with off the right because Rashford's just been so bad this season. It might be worth throwing Rashford in. We know he's going to get a second chance under Ten Hag. It might be worth throwing him in front of Ten Hag. He probably will put a lot more effort in. He probably will run around a lot more than he has all season. It might be worth doing that because ultimately it's about the result. And Rangnick will know that Rashford's going to be part of the plan next season, so maybe he will just throw him in, but I personally probably would give it Elanga. And then up front, it's going to have to be Cavani because we've got no Ronaldo. Well, at least that's the story I've been given. I mean, I'd love Ronaldo to play tomorrow. If there is any chance that that story's wrong, I hope it is, but I'm not convinced. I think he's out. And if he is out, we desperately need Cavani, who we hope is not going to wake up tomorrow and go, you know what? I've scratched my leg, I'm out, which he is capable of doing. Cavani, his last game in the United shirt, playing up front, he might score a couple of goals and actually rescue, in some way, a terrible decision to stay at Manchester United. It's been a really bad season. I thought his first season was good. This second season has been absolutely a waste of time. I mean, what has he done since Christmas as well? So, look, I hope Cavani is able to play tomorrow because if we've got no Ronaldo, then we haven't. I want to be positive about this performance. I want to be positive about this result. But I think it's a difficult game for United. I really do. And I think even if we play well with a team like that, we could lose to Palace. I mean, so much of it's on West Ham Brighton tomorrow. It's going to be a big day. I mean, look, I'm worried about United. I'm worried about bloody Man City messing it up and giving Liverpool the hands to a quadruple, which would just be unbelievably sickening on top of an unbelievably sickening season. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very nervy, exciting day tomorrow, and it might not go our way. I mean, it might not. But what I would say is the most important thing is I will give a prediction. I think we'll find a way to win. I do think we'll find a way to win. I think we'll get Europa League football. Whether we win or not is by the by. But what I will say is, and it's hard to say this as a fan, if we will get what we deserve. And we don't deserve much this season. If we're absolutely honest, we don't deserve anything. We deserve the worst thing to happen. And if that is the Conference League, I don't think any of us will be sat there tomorrow night going, well, we can't argue with it. We've been absolutely disgusting. We have. And we've been a disgrace to the badge this season. Those players on and off the pitch are probably the worst set of players we've definitely the worst set of players I've had in my lifetime as a Manchester United fan. They're a joke. I mean, the talent is there. The talent is there, but they've not applied it, and they've been a disgrace off the pitch as well. And unfortunately, we've accumulated a set of players at Manchester United that are brilliant in switching off their talent. They've become the masters of it over the last 9 years, and obviously we've had changing players in that time, but this current set of players are the worst set we've had. And their ability to just turn off their talent is just stunning, which makes me think maybe tomorrow they might turn it on again, because you know what, if we get a performance from United tomorrow where they play well, I'm going to say it after the game, I'm still going to call them out and say it's amazing how you've put in a performance on the last day of the season to stop yourself being in the embarrassment of the Conference League and to, show off to Ten Hag. Yet, for the last few weeks, you've literally downed tools. It wouldn't surprise me if they did that. It wouldn't surprise me if they were the same as Brighton, where they've completely switched off. Who knows what we're going to get tomorrow, but I do think we will end up with Europa League football, which, to be honest with you, is embarrassing, but it's better than the Conference League, and I hope that's what we get. Anyway, smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. We're back again at 8 o'clock tonight. That's your preview. And as things stand, I think that's the best team we can put out. Obviously, I hope Shaw's back. I'm hoping that this Ronaldo thing is... I mean, look, nobody's talking about it. But as I said, I've been told he's out tomorrow. So let's wait and see. I hope it's a fake story. But I don't know. Maybe it's going to come out tonight. I'm not so sure. But... yeah, we need Cavani if Ronaldo's out. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you in a bit.